Cost of Poor Quality, Chapter 2. This lecture will help us to understand what are the costs of having poor quality. So let's start defining the cost of poor quality. And the cost of poor quality is defined as those costs associated with the non-achievement of product or service quality, as defined by the requirements established by the organization and its contract with customers and society. So customers and society are the ones that have the need. This need is transformed into design requirements to produce a product or service. When these requirements or these expectations are not achieved at the end is when we have cost of poor quality. So the cost of poor quality helps us to identify opportunity for quality improvement. The efficiency of any business, we know this, is measured in terms of dollars. This is the way that the top management talks. This value would translate the defects, errors, into the language of management, which is dollars. So a reduction in the cost of poor quality leads to increased profit. And this will provide a basis for identifying improvement opportunities and success of improvement programs. So the cost of poor quality are divided into two areas: cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. The cost of conformance are two: the prevention cost, which are identified as a P, and the appraisal cost, which are identified as a A. And then the cost of non-conformance, we have the internal failure cost, IF, and the external failure cost, EF. These costs, the sum of all these costs, will give you the total cost of poor quality. So let's start understanding the prevention costs. And these costs are all the costs expended to prevent errors from being made. These are the costs involved in helping the employee do the right job every time. So prevention costs are those costs of all activities undertaken to prevent defects in design and development, purchasing, labor, and other aspects of beginning and creating a product or service. These costs also include those preventive and measurement actions conducted during the business cycle. And some examples of these are the training and quality planning costs, design review, product qualification, drawing checkings, engineering quality orientation, suppliers evaluation, supplier quality seminar, specifications review, process capability study, tool control, operation training, quality orientation, acceptance planning, zero defects program, quality audits, and preventive maintenance. The other type of cost of conformance are the appraisal costs. And these are the results of evaluating already completed output and auditing the process to measure conformance to established criteria and procedures. So the preventive cost is the product hasn't been produced yet. When we have the appraisal cost, these are already products that are produced, and we just have to make sure that they're conformance to the specifications and to the established criteria and procedures. So these costs incurred while conducting inspection, tests, and other planned evaluations, and these are used to determine whether the product conforms to their requirements. These requirements include the specifications that are coming from the marketing and the customers, and the engineering documents and information that are related to procedures and processes. Specific items part of this cost are part inspection, testing and audits, prototype inspection and test, production specification conformance analysis, supplier surveillance, receiving inspection and test, product acceptance, process control acceptance, packaging inspection, and the status measurement and reporting. Now, from the cost of non-conformance, we have the internal failure cost, which is the IF cost, and these are internal error costs and are defined as the costs incurred by the company as a result of errors detected before the output is accepted by the company's customer. So this is still something that we realize within the organization. Oh, this is not up to the standards, so it's not going to go to the customers. So some of these examples are rework, scrap, retesting, and troubleshooting. So this failure costs are associated with things that has been found not to conform or perform to the requirements, as well as the evaluation, dispositions, and customer support aspect of such failures. These type of costs include all materials and labor involved, and occasionally a figure must be included for lost customers' credibility, because we are not maybe on time, we're not giving the right amount. So these has some consequence. So another examples are the consumer affairs, redesign, engineering change order, purchasing change order, corrective action costs, warranty, service after service, and product liability. External failure costs. These costs are the ones that the producer has, and these are external. This is when the external customer has the product in their hands, and they are supplied with an acceptable product or service. So what's going to happen is that they are going to complain, they're going to return. So some of the examples of external failure costs are recalls, complaint, returns, and replacement. Now, let's say that we have this company ABC. The way that the cost for quality identification works is by follow. So you have to first identify the problem, which is the opportunity for improvement. Then you're going to generate an issue from the family. Okay, you prioritize and direct the issue. Then you use team leaders to assign the actions. You do data cycle between team members. You do the decision process and adjustment. Then you collect the data, and with that data you choose an employee short-term and long-term solution and employ the short-term solution. Then you close the problem action, and then you schedule follow-up audits and surveillance to evaluate corrective actions effectiveness. So this is the way that the cost for quality is implemented. Now there are some quality cost management tools, and these are the cost indexes, Pareto analysis, sampling and work measurement, activity-based costing, and we're going to be seeing these different tools in this semester. Now, once you have collected the data, you have to perform the analysis. And the way that we do the analysis is by train. And the train analysis involves comparing present cost levels to past level. And it provides information for long-range planning. This train analysis is accomplished by cost category and subcategory, by product, by measurement base, by plant within a corporation, by department, by work center, and by combination. This is based on the specific criteria of the organization. For example, if you use the Pareto, and Pareto is another effective cost analysis tool, the purpose of this tool is graph the summary and display the relative importance of the difference between group of data. So if you have different costs, it will help you to identify those that are the most common and the less common, and they give you the 80%, which is what we call the 80-20, which 80% of the problems are caused by 20% of the problem. So in this case, 80% of the cost will cause by 20% of the problems in the organization. Now, when we do work on cost of poor quality, we have to look for the optimum. Okay, and here we're going to make comparisons with other organizations, and there are going to be some obstacles. Difficulties arise because many organizations keep their costs secret, and accounting systems treat the collection of costs differently. My company can have costs by maybe product lines. Your organization can have costs based on processes. So this is when it comes a little bit challenged for a person to make this comparison. But once again, remember, you are looking for the optimum. Also, part of this is to optimize the individual categories. So make sure that the organization has those categories well established, and analyze the relationship among the cost categories. Now, there's some cost of quality strategy that if your company has measured this and have found that you have different type of poor quality cost and you have identified which ones, the idea is that you will attack first the failure cost. Okay, why the failure cost? Because these are the ones that are associated with not to conform or perform to the requirement. So this is very important, because it's here when you're going to have the rework scrap, so it's more costly than the other ones. Then you invest in prevention, because the idea is not to make those pitfalls. Then you cut the appraisal, which is the ones that are related to inspection. One thing that you're going to understand this semester is that having 100% inspection in an organization is very, very costly, and this is because you have to have resources, you have to spend time. So when we are working in quality, we don't want to have 100% inspection. What we want is to have a process that from one step to another will assure that there is no errors. So this is what we want. And the last strategy is to evaluate and redirect efforts. So this is what we're looking, if you come up with that you have a situation and then you want a strategy to reduce the cost of quality. Now, as a quality improvement strategy, we know the problems that departments can correct with little or more outside help are better, and problems that require coordination actions from several functional areas in the organization. So you're going to have two situations: those that can be corrected within the department, and then those that are need more cross-functional areas within the organization. So you have to make sure that you attack them in different ways. So the strategic plan will be to reduce the failure caused by problem solving, and we have seen the problem solving lecture and understanding the different phases. Then you're going to invest in the right prevention activity, because the idea is that we don't make the same pitfalls. Then you reduce the appraisal costs, because these appraisal costs are very expensive, and we don't want to do that. We don't have to have we don't want inspections at every step of the process. We just have to make sure that everyone is aware of quality, and they make sure that there is no errors that are going from one step to another. And you continuously evaluate and redirect the prevention effort to gain further quality improvement. So this is all for the cost of poor quality.